Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today, 30 Nights with Fawn Labs. We are very excited to have you tonight, and we hope that after this session, you can share your learnings and takeaways to your friends, your family, and your social media so more people can be aware of what to look out for in the ingredients in your daily products. We are also currently live in the Fawn Labs Facebook page. Hello to everyone watching via Facebook. Hi. Feel free to put your questions in the comment section and we will try to address them so long as time permits. And we normally start after 5 minutes to give time for people who will come in and for people joining the Zoom webinar and for people who are watching us over Facebook. We would love to know your favorite brand of skincare in the chat box in Zoom and comment section in Facebook. So let me check. Okay, we have a few people coming in. Hello, welcome everyone. So we would like you to use the chat box. So please share your favorite brand of skincare in the chat box, and then we will give you a shout out. At the bottom of this page, you will have a chat button. If you click on it, you will have two options, send to panelists and send to panelists and attendees. So for this purpose, please click on send to panelists and attendees so everyone can see your responses. We will give you about a minute. Barisa said the ordinary. Let me check over Facebook as well because we are currently live. Okay, so we don't have any comments yet. Hello, everyone. We have some viewers on Facebook as well. Let me see. Hi, we're waiting for some more people. Okay, so please post your favorite brand of skincare in the chat box. Huisi said fresh. Elizabeth says Young Living. Hello, Juliet Videnya, watching over Facebook. Hi, Mark Vincent. Okay, let's see. Couple of more seconds. Let's wait for a couple of more seconds. All right. Welcome, everyone. Okay. So I think we can proceed. My name is April and I'm from Dolce Vita Events Singapore. We are a sustainable events company and we produce and host webinars globally for our clients. We would like this event to be very interactive so it will be more enjoyable and interesting for everyone. We would like to encourage you to participate by chatting so you can also get a lot of things out of this session. So this session will have 6 parts in it. Clean Beauty, Raid My Pantry, Strip and Bare, Dirty Cup, Grill Me, and finally Nightcap. As you can see, we have very interesting titles in our segments. So before I introduce our main speaker, I would like to share some housekeeping. So right now, everyone is muted. I will oversee all the technical and back-end aspects of this webinar. We cannot see your video right now. We can only see your names on the chat. And later during the Q&A, we will be inviting you to turn on your videos so everyone can see each other and so you can ask your questions directly to the speaker. And if you're not comfortable turning on your camera, it's also okay to keep it off, no worries. So this session is being recorded as well. And we are also live in the Fawn Labs Facebook page. And I've mentioned this during the start of the session, but I will repeat it for the benefit of the people who just logged in. This is about the controls of Zoom. So at the bottom of this page, you have a chat button. When you click on it, you will have 2 options, send to panelists only and send to panelists and attendees. If you click on send to panelists and attendees and then chat, everyone can see your responses, including me, all right? And if you click on send to panelists only me and the speakers can see your responses, all right? And at the bottom of the screen right now, you have a Q&A button there. And if you click on it, you will be able to type your questions anytime during the webinar. It will be combined, all of the questions will be combined in this box so we can easily address your questions during the later part of the session. So once, if our speaker is, pointing out something and you have a question, so feel free to put it on the Q&A box, okay? You can also send in your questions anonymously, and feel free to also share your support and encouragement to our speakers via the chat. You're definitely more than welcome to do that, all right? And in this webinar, we will be talking about sustainability issues relating to clean beauty and food waste. We will be talking about how these topics are related. And we will also be talking about how you can minimize toxins and food waste as you dine more from home, okay? And finally, how you can change some simple habits in managing food waste and beauty routine to improve your health and skin, okay? I would like to introduce our speaker to you now, Han, okay? Han's journey with sustainability and naturopathy started due to a personal health scare in 2015. She chanced upon a natural botanical topical supplement that healed her. Okay? Upon recovering, Hans spent the next 3 years on research and self-reading. She focused to change her family's health and lifestyle toxin-free by self-teaching to formulate skincare and home care with natural botanical sources, and she started noticing dramatic changes in her skin. In 2018, Han decided to leave her finance career to set up an Asian-based family office while concurrently pursuing an advanced diploma in organic cosmetic science with an accredited UK school, Formula Botanica. In 2019, Han started Fawn & Co. with Lionel and Eldred with a vision for sustainability and clean beauty. Fawn & Co. now runs Fawn Labs, conducts workshops, and carries out research and development on wellness and clean beauty products. Han, I will bring you in.
Thank you, April. Hello, everyone. Thank you, April, for that very kind introduction. I shall take over from here. We love working with Dolce Vita. That's where April is from. They believe in sustainability like Fawn Labs, so they are indeed a wonderful partner for us. I'm not going to talk about the history of Fawn Labs this week because you can actually look at our last week's episode 1 via our Facebook, and you can catch all that history. This week, I'm just going to talk about what we do at the lab, because since last week, I had a lot of friends asking me, right, what do you guys do in that lab? Are you a mad scientist? You know, things like that. So this year, in February, we actually moved into our new lab at Trust Street. And now you will see on the screen the beautiful lab that we have moved in. We call it our little lifestyle lab because we try to create an ambiance that's comfortable for people to come for workshops. And it's here that they join us in our clean beauty workshop. So the next pictures you will see on the screen here. On the left is just some of the ingredients at our lab. We house a total of 300 over varieties of ingredients for clean beauty. And these are just a few that we take out for our workshop when we conduct them. On the right is a set of equipment that we will issue to every participant that comes for our clean beauty workshop. And these are actually equipment that they get to bring home with them to continue the clean beauty journey. So you will see that we have a precision scale, some beakers, and of course we also give away lovely jars like what you see in these new pictures now. That's bamboo accented as well. On the right, you will see some of the formulation sheets that we will issue to each of our participants when they come for our workshop. These are formulation sheets that's for the same product, but bear in mind that each of the participants are actually having different ingredients in their formulation sheets because all our formulations are bespoke for each of their skincare. For those of you who have joined us before, you will know what that means. You have the same product with different ingredients, and that's what we do at Fawn Labs. On the left would be some examples of the items that you can make at Fawn Labs. So the first two products nearer to the bottom of the screen, the blue one and the white one, and also the yellow one. These are the products that you will make in our usual clean beauty workshop. The blue one is actually a dual purpose mask and face wash that's gel textured. This is a water-based aqueous face wash mask. The other two are actually the same product but different formulations. They are also a dual purpose moisturizer for night, or some people like to use them as a primer under their makeup. I've been told that because we address their specific skin issues, a lot of them find that these using this under the makeup enable the makeup to stay on for the whole day, and they don't find that they have like fine lines or hydration issues at the end of the day. So maybe you should come and try one of our workshops on this day and tell me your feedback on these products. So I'm gonna move on now to talk about clean beauty, my fireside chat, I call it. Last week, we talked about the whole clean beauty movement and over the last 3 decades where we arrived at today. So this week, I'm not gonna talk about history, nor the clean beauty movement specifically, but I promised you last week that we are gonna touch on the definition of clean beauty, the best practices of the industry, things like labeling and packaging. Okay, now before I start, right, I like to ask you all a question, and I like for you to key into the comment section. For those of you who are joining us on Facebook Live, do feel free to key into the comment section or use the link that you see there to join us live on Zoom. That's where you can get to be really interactive as well. But those of you who are in Zoom with us, just key into the comment section. My question to you is, name a brand that comes to your mind when I ask you to choose a clean beauty brand. What are the brands that comes to your mind? I'll give you maybe about 5 to 10 seconds to key this so that I can take a look at some of your answers. If I ask you to pick a brand that's represents clean beauty the best, what would be the brand that comes to your mind? Okay, we'll take a look at this during the Q&A session. So we're going to start with clean beauty's definition, okay? In terms of regulatory, there's no singular regulator in the world that covers the entire world's clean beauty or beauty industry itself. So what this means to say that each country has its own regulatory requirements, and their government have different sets of rules and regulations for products that are being sold in those countries. This brings about also because of no clear regulatory issues, right? I mean, no clear regulatory management in the entire world. The individual brands have actually started their own interpretation of what clean beauty means to them. This, in the end, results in individuals, consumers like all of us out here, having misconceptions sometimes because there's no clear definition of what clean beauty is. Now, leading to today's clean beauty movement, the conceptualization of what it stands for is hence very, very muddled in a lot of people's mind. It is formed usually starts by a concerned relative, maybe a concerned friend coming to you to say, oh, I heard that this ingredient is not so good, parabens, avoid them. Things like that, you know, essential oils, they're not good for essential oils, they're great for you. You hear a lot of different things. So we start forming all these impressions and conceptualizations of what clean beauty stands for in our mind. Whether they're right or not, we don't know, right? The landscape is always changing due to ongoing research, due to discoveries, test results of new ingredients, new technology. So what I'm trying to say is that up to today, there is no clear definition of what clean beauty truly stands for. Okay, so it's now up to the brands and to yourself as an individual consumer to try to capture the essence of clean beauty as accurately as possible. And that's why I'm here today to probably empower all of us here to understand a little bit more and then make the right decisions for ourselves and our families. There's just no right or wrong, by the way. And since we're talking about the best industry practices for brands and corporates, I will run through a list that I personally feel is important when you choose the brand or a company that represents clean beauty in your mind. The first thing would be honesty. To have honesty in your brand, we are talking about things like ingredient lists, where the source of your ingredients are from. Whether they're good or bad, you should communicate consumers instead of hiding them, and we're still lying about them. We're talking about integrity. The next thing, integrity. There should be no overselling, because truly in the beauty industry, there's just too much waste, too much overbuying, overselling. So you should use what is needed and use what is necessary, buy what you need, only when you need. The third thing I feel is important for a brand is engagement and to listen to your consumers. Talk to them because feedback is important, right? Listen to what they want and listen to what they have, their concerns are, and address them through your brands, through your products. The next would be innovation. As we discovered last week, the most expensive and branded products out there may not be the ones that innovate the most. Some of them are actually using legacy formulations over the last 2 decades. So they're using ingredients that has already been phased out, that has already been certified or tested by research that they're not good for us, but they're still using them. So we have to make a stand and let these brands know that it is not right that you use your legacy formulations, you do not innovate, okay? The fifth quality I find that makes a brand and a corporate practice well in the beauty industry is to address service first above everything else. Meaning to say, if you're getting a complaint of some sort, you have someone seeking a refund, some spoiled goods, exchanges or refunds should be given freely. You should never hold that back from the consumer. You should never address it such as it's not suitable for you. That's why I'm not wrong. A good brand, I feel, should always address all these issues and understand where the consumer is coming from. So listen to their complaints and offer good service first. Lastly, I think a very important fact, and this is not just pertaining to beauty industry, this is just across the board, all industries itself. I think everyone should embrace competition. Everyone should go for collaborations and not be selfish. So you have to learn, and share amongst even within the industry itself. Like I take for example, to me, clean beauty is a movement. It is not a gimmick. It is not a trend. So the more people I have standing with Fawn Labs, the more we are stronger together. So you will learn together, and with a bigger group of you, right? That is when you will start to create a movement so strong that you can only convince even more people to join your cause. Blocking out competition is not the way to go forward as well. Okay, so at this juncture, I'm gonna ask you guys another question. Now, what is the best thing you remember, right, that a beauty brand or beauty company has ever done for you? Be it, oh, I made a complaint and then they sent a limo down, gave me a huge hamper, tell me which brand is because I want to buy that product, and then make a huge complaint as well, okay? So if you recall something that's a beauty brand or company has done for you before, please key that into the comment section under Facebook or into the Zoom webinar chat section, and let us know what these companies have done well so that we can also see and later on take on some of these comments and discuss them together with you. I will now move on to best practices in packaging and labels for beauty industry pertaining to clean beauty itself. What are some, okay, this is a third question that I'm going to ask to you as well, right? So what is a label or a word, right, that you have to see on your product before you buy them? Like for me, before I had all this further education, right, I used to look for things that says like for sensitive skin or hypoallergenic, because my skin is actually very, very, very sensitive. So I try to look for brands that label all these products with these words, right? And I think that I made the right purchase when I spend money on them. So the question is, what is a label or word that you will look for on your packaging of your clean beauty product before you will buy these products? Okay, I shall now go into 10 label practices that I see common in the clean beauty industry, and I shall debunk these myths if these are not good labels for any brands to use, or if they're good labels for you to look out for. The first would be natural. Like if a brand labels itself as a natural brand, what does that mean? Okay, it does not mean that it's 100% natural. I hate to disappoint all of you out here. The reason is because there is no regulatory requirements, right, for anyone to test anything and for anyone to prove anything before they can use the word natural on their labels. So if I were a skincare brand, I want to call myself Natural Fawn, I can do that. What is the impression that it creates in the consumer mind? Am I accurate if I call myself Natural Fawn? Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is it does not mean when you see the word natural on a packaging or a label, right, that it's 100% natural ingredients in there. It certainly does not mean that there's no toxins in there too. I hate to disappoint all of you. The next word that we see getting very popular in this entire decade that has just passed, clean. They like to say we are clean beauty, we have clean ingredients. So what does this mean? It's the same as natural, unfortunately. There's no regulatory requirements to state that you have to prove something or get a certification before you put the word clean on your labels itself. It also does not mean that it's 100% natural ingredients. The difference between natural and clean is that clean can mean that it has some synthetics in there, but the brand is hoping that it is not toxic to your skin or to your health. Okay, so if it's natural, they're trying to project the image that they are 100% made of botanicals or natural ingredients. When they say clean, it does not mean that they do not use synthetics. They may use synthetics, but those have to be the ones that are not harmful to your health, or rather what the brand believes that is not harmful to include in their formulations. The third label that we would see very often, and I'm going to use two of them together to explain one point, would be hypoallergenic and non-comedogenic. Okay, what this means is that these are made, they want to give the impression that these are made of ingredients, made with ingredients rather, that does not clog your pores nor cause sensitive skin issues. Okay, again, there's no such thing. Unfortunately, after I've been trained and certified, right, I have been picking up a lot of things. I usually go to the malls before circuit breaker, and I will go and play in the playground, like Sephora is my playground now. I'll go and I'll pick up items and I'll look at them randomly, look at the ingredient list, right? And I now realize when a brand actually indicates that it's hypoallergenic, right? The ingredients are probably the same as every other product out there without that label. So this is a huge disappointment for me as well, because truly the brands have their own interpretation of what is hypoallergenic and what is not. So when two different brands are branding themselves as hypoallergenic, right, they are using completely different set of rules and regulations for themselves. Okay, so what you must know as a consumer is what is the particular ingredient that you are allergic or sensitive to, and avoid those ingredients rather than look for packaging with hypoallergenic on it. Okay, the fourth one is what I dislike most. Okay, I believe most, okay, is when they use parfum or fragrance. What this means to say that is they're using synthetics or artificial smells, things that create a perfume or fragrance to a product. You must know that these does not do anything for your skin, and they come with a host of health problems for people who continuously use them. They're not even necessary to make the product. They're not necessary to make the product work well for you as well. So I really dislike anything that has parfum or fragrance in there. You don't need it in any skincare products. If there's a nice smell, or if a nice smell is important to you, we are happy if they use botanical extracts to fragrance them naturally. And some of these would include hydrosols, essential oils. These are actually things that are not synthetic fragrances that will cause a lot of health issues. Okay, the next would actually be something that we're very familiar with. I will not need to go into that very much, but it's paraben free. None of us like parabens in our products now. But just to let you know, that's also a bit of an issue there, because that's not the only ingredient that is harmful to your skin and your health. There are a lot of other chemical preservatives that causes worse harm than parabens. It's just that everyone is so hung up on the word paraben, right? They look for paraben-free products. So you have to educate yourself on what are the other preservatives that are also harmful to your skin and health. Next, the next label would be something that's common on the product that we are highlighting today, which is sunscreen. They will come with something like broad spectrum. Now, broad spectrum means that it covers UVA, UVB, UVC, that's all, and it's supposed to be good, okay? I'll move on now to cruelty-free versus vegan. These two have no correlations. A lot of people think vegan means cruelty-free means vegan. It does not mean the same thing. Cruelty-free just means that there's no animal testing. Vegan just means that there's no animal byproducts, but it could mean that they do animal testing. So no animal byproducts would mean that they don't include even things like honey, things like eggs, things like beeswax are excluded from their formulation. okay? If you want to select something that's cruelty-free, look for the certification Leaping Bunny. For vegan, it's called Vegan Action. These are the two most recognized labels, rather regulatory requirements to label as cruelty-free and vegan. If they don't come with these certifications, it's probably not true. Number 8 would be very interesting for a lot of people because we spend a lot of money to buy organic, the word is organic products. Now, the only body in the world that is truly capable of certifying a brand or a product organic is USDA Organic. So if it doesn't come with that certification, it is probably not true as well. And even if that certification, right, you only need 95% of your items, right, to be free from synthetics additives. It doesn't mean that 100% of it is organic as well. Number 9 would be EcoCert. This is pretty easy to understand. So this label has to be issued by Europe organization. Europe Organic, it's called European Organic Association. So if that is not on the label, then it's probably not true that they're EcoCert. They are just eco-friendly in their own classifications. So the last one would be this, I think you would have seen it before. I don't have an example with me this week, right? It's on your label and it comes with this jar, slightly open, and you will see a number like 6M or 12M on it. That's called period after opening, PAO, okay? So that's different from expiry date. If I buy something and it has 2 dates on it, one is 6M and one is a certain date, right? Then truly the expiry date is that date. The 6M is just once you open it, don't use it for longer than 6 months, and that's all. So here I'm going to wrap up this entire segment that we have talked about on the best practices of clean beauty. Next week, I will touch on DIY products from home, the safety, the do's and don'ts of these DIY products. So if you are fond of making DIY products from home, come and find out how to do that safely and what to look out for. So in summary, today we covered the marketing and definition of clean beauty. We covered good corporate and brand practices. And we also cover beauty products, packaging, and labels. Last week, I told you guys that I will show you an example of my fruit enzyme because I was keeping them in the fridge, freezing them. So this is what I prepared this week. Okay, this is just water and the white particles you see below, right? They are sugar. I learned how to make fruit enzymes actually from this website, this web page. I think it's a YouTube channel. It's called Green Mama. I think their founder, Teresa, is with us tonight. So Teresa, if you're around, can you say hi to everyone? She has this method of making fruit enzymes, right? Basically, I will let you, April, attach the link to our Zoom chat so you can access, there you go, the Green Mama. There you can learn exactly how much water and sugar to put. But I'm just going to start on my journey. And all you got to do, right, is to put in the citrus fruit peels into water with sugar. Okay, I'm going to do more after the show. And then keep these for 3-4 months. That's what Teresa told me. Before I can have fruit enzymes, okay? Now, I have been keeping my fruit enzymes in these silicone bags. They are able to take heat and cold. I just took them out of the freezer. That's why you will see some water contents, right? And these are citrus peels that I've been keeping frozen since circuit breaker started. So I got these from Earthly. If you all like to take a look at what else Earthly carries, and it's mostly products that you can use to continue your sustainability journey. We will attach the link here so you can go for a little bit of shopping from home after this and get your, you know, sustainability products from them. Earthly, we will attach the link to this chat as well. I don't have the actual fruit enzymes to show you, but I'm going to bring a very special guest onto my show now, and she's going to show you what actual fruit enzymes that's you know, been used. She's been making these for a long time. I'll let her show you herself. Her name is Kat Sng, Catherine Sng. She's a very good friend of mine. You can follow Catherine on her Instagram. I am Catherine Sng. And there's a lot of things I find that I can learn from Catherine. She's following a very, very sustainable lifestyle. We had her take over our Instagram feed just last week, and she shared a whole day of what she does with us on our stories. If you go to our Instagram page, you can see a highlight with a name on it, Kat. Just click on that and you can follow her on one of her days during this circuit breaker, and you will find that she's indeed a role model for a lot of us. Now, I'm not going to say more about Catherine. I shall bring her on and let her introduce herself. Kat, are you around? Can we have Kat, please?
Hi.
Hi, Kat.
Hello.
Oh my God. How long have I not met you?
Wow. Few months. Could be a few years, but then we came to meet a few months ago, and then now it's few months.
I last saw you in the lab, right? In
Yes.
March, I think. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, that
the
was
first week of your lab, I think, when you guys moved
so
in.
that should be late February.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
so much has
I
changed
was so
since
excited
then.
to see your lab.
You like it?
Yes, very much.
Thank you. We'll see more of you in that lab once we get out of this circuit breaker and when everything regulates.
For sure.
I was just telling everyone that you have fruit enzyme that you have made, right, and kept for a very long time. And I want them to see the difference between that and my fruit enzyme, which is all clear water, sugar and pills now. But before you show us, before you show us, can you share with us some of your best practices for sustainability this period while staying home? I always watch her Instagram feed, right? She's amazing. She does so many things. I hope I can slowly embark on to make my sustainability practices more comprehensive.
Basically, I think you always think that the earth is not yours. You borrow it from the future. And as mothers, we feel that, okay, we really have to take care of what we borrowed so that the future kids, can enjoy it like what we're enjoying now. So that's why I'm always thinking, how do we try to be environmental friendly and to be sustainable? And I think during this COVID period, so usually, I will cook more because my normal meals are always like taken outside at the kopitiam or anywhere, because I try not to do takeout because takeout has a lot of plastic. And during this time, I cook more because I don't want to use plastics, or I try to use my tingkat or my reusable containers.
Because
cooking is the one that
plastic should only be on one part of our body, and it's certainly not going to be part of what we used to eat food with, right?
Exactly.
No, we're talking about clean beauty here. We're not talking about plastic beauty here. But I heard the word tingkat. Where's your tingkat? Oh my God, tingkat?
Okay. I should bring you guys to see my tingkat. Okay.
You mean it's a tingkat, like a tin and a cat?
And a cat. I know, right?
Cat, right?
Moment,
I need to find one of those tinghan. I need a tinghan.
I have a bunch of what's it called? It's all here.
Oh my God! Look at your tingkat.
Okay.
Can I change my tingkat with you after? My tinghan is not so nice. Yeah.
Tingkat to tinghan, is it?
Mine is that silver ugly one. Oh gosh, you have such a nice one. And I saw that you kept all the plastic packaging and you wash and you keep them for reuse, right? I use them to plant my seedlings as well. But that's really yeah. Oh, and speaking of plants, right? Oh my God, you guys should go and follow her on her Instagram. This girl is like a farmer. She's like everything, she has such a beautiful garden outside her house. She's planting so many kinds of vegetables. I mean, we have an apocalypse, right? Which is something like what we're going through now. She's not going to die of hunger for sure, okay? I'm going to go to her house, and it's outside her house. So if I give you the address, all of us can go and steal her vegetables, by the way.
Oh no, don't do that. Okay, before we forget, we're going to show the food enzymes, okay? This was done a year ago, and I was looking at the date. It's on 25th May. Okay, hang on. Let me show you.
It's not even 25th May yet, so it's last year, 25th May, right?
Yeah, it's almost a year. Can you see? So at the bottom, you can see...
yes, so that's the difference, guys, okay? So that's
but
1
you
year,
open
this is like 10 minutes, okay? So I'm going to put more, obviously I'm going to put a lot more fruit peels to get that.
So those are made with actually just orange peels, and they smell amazing.
By the way, right, I'm not going to leave it for 1 year like you. I'm likely going to use it 3-4 months. That's what Teresa from Green Mama actually taught me. So I'm going to, 3-4 months from now, right, I hope I can show you in person what mine looks like. And you can use it to clean a lot of things. Just follow the link, Green Mama, and you will learn a lot about what you can use with these to clean them. What you can clean with these. Oh my God, what am I talking about? Yeah. Okay. So, Kat, thanks for sharing with us how a real fruit enzyme look like. But maybe 3-4 months is fine. No, you don't need 1 year for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are going to show them now, right? Something that you and I. So we learned something from Green Mama and Kat. So there's something that Kat learned from me last week, and we have been experimenting, haven't we? If you have been following Kat on her Instagram, you would have seen her put something on her face recently, asking you guys to guess what it is. So today she's gonna show you what the tip that I gave her that she has been using, and she has told me that it works beautifully for her skin. Can we take a... So she's gonna use 2 products, right? Yeah, 2 products that she has at home that she has kept for years. That's what she told me. Oats. Okay, so we're digging in her pantry, right, to find out what are the things that she has not used for a long time, and then if there are things that she can use for skin. So she found oats, and yeah, so then she's using the same machine my last week's guest we see is using. This is not a machine, this is a robot. It cost them like almost $3,000, and it's called a food processor. So she has milked the oats into some sort of like a flour, right?
Yes, can you see? Okay.
That's the flour already, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, so how many parts of, okay, we're going to mix this with something else that she has at home for some time, and it's kombucha. Okay, so kombucha, we'll tell you more about kombucha later, because that's Kat's forte, and it's not really something that I am particularly knowledgeable about, and that's why she's on the show. So she's going to mix the oat flour with kombucha, and there she goes. And Kat, you were telling us like how many parts oats to how many parts kombucha?
About 5 grams to about 13 to 15 ml of kombucha.
Okay, so in that case, from a formulation standpoint, right, to make it easy for everyone, every 1 part oat, you mix it with 3 parts liquids, okay? She's gonna prepare, and this is actually a gently exfoliating mask that she's gonna show you how to use as well. While she mixes these 2 ingredients, right, I'm just gonna share with you how else you can make this mask if you don't have kombucha at home. So Kat, you can go ahead and make the mask while I explain to everyone the benefits as well. So if you don't have kombucha at home, I have kombucha at home. You can also use things like, what do you call that, honey, because honey is also a little bit runny, right? Mix it with a bit of purified water, and then mix it with the oats, and then that will create a texture that's suitable to be spread on the face like a mask. Honey is good for people who have breakout issues because they are actually antibacterial. You can also use old yogurt. Like last week, we taught you to use the avocado pit, grind it into a powder, and then mix it with your face wash, or I suggested yogurt. So you can also use yogurt to mix with this oat flour as well to create that texture. Yogurt is the same as kombucha. They're both fermented. They contain lactic acid in them. A lot of people pay a lot of money to have this ingredient in their face products. So if you can get it from food that's going bad, right? Like yogurt, sometimes it goes, you keep it in your fridge for too long. It has a watery thing, you don't dare to eat it, right? Use it as a mask, mix it with oats, or mix it with the avocado pit from last week's tip. And you can use it like a mask. So these are all some tips. And lactic acid, what it does for your skin is that it actually eliminates all the old skin cells on the top of your face, and you get clearer skin and also clearer pores as well from that. Okay, I think Kat would have finished mixing her mask by now. Kat, you want to show us? Yeah. Okay, so she told me that she wants to try it out on the show. So I say, go ahead, go for it, man. Yeah, so this is this is what she's gonna do. She's using a brush. She's trying to be dainty now because the last time when she did it, she was using her fingers. If you don't have a brush, guys, you can use your fingers as well. So this is how you do it. She's just gonna do it on one side of her face to show us. And then what she does is she told me she'll massage it in so that the milk of the oat itself will go deeper into the pores. Oat is something we use in the lab as well, but I don't use oatmeal. I use oat extract, and they're supposed to be very good for sensitive and problematic skin like eczema, like breakouts as well. It's very calming for the skin, okay? So what you're supposed to do is to leave it to dry for like 15 to 20 minutes before you wash it off. But of course, we don't have that time. And I'm gonna let Kat go and wash off her face. Thank you, Kat. You don't have to do the full mask here.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, okay, so that's just wonderful. So this is how you can use oats. I actually dug out like 2-3 years old oats, right, at the back of my cupboard. So when she showed me, when I was touring her kitchen, right, and she showed me the oats, I was like, oh my God, we're the same. So surely a lot of people have old oats at home as well. So this is what you can do with them, okay? Well, while Kat is away, I'm just gonna talk a bit more about Kat. She's the founder of 2 businesses. One of it is Baba Mama, and the other one is Kombucha Mama, and she's back. So instead of me telling you what she does, I'm gonna hand it back to Kat for her to tell you more about what she does, both for Baba Mama and Kombucha Mama. And we're just gonna attach the links that you can follow her or see these 2 entities right in the webinar chat itself, and you can follow her on these chats. Follow her on these links, okay? Kat, would you like to tell us more?
Back again.
Yes.
Feel very nice, very, the thin layer on the skin, the invisible layer is very, like a very moisturized and hydrated, but it's natural anyway. So
that thin layer, right?
Yes,
that thin layer.
Yeah, it's
the
like
thin layer is actually hydration. It means your skin is properly hydrated. Okay.
It feels like baby skin,
Yeah, and some of the products out there gives you this feeling, right? Because they have silicones in there, so it's a very synthetic layer that's occlusive, right? But when you use oats, right, clearly there's no synthetics in there, right? So it creates this film, right, which is actually hydration on your skin. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm definitely gonna try that out myself. I have a lot of oats at home. Yeah. Okay, back to Kat. Want to tell us more about?
I'm a mother of one. I feel that sometimes I'm like an octopus, I'm always doing on the run, or on my computer, on my laptop, and then on my phone. So I run 2 businesses. One is Baba Mama. It's a parenting website. So it's a website to empower mommies like me who to take good care of ourselves so that we can take better care of our children. For me, it's one child, but for Han, it's 2 kids. And Kombucha Mama is born from my thirst for fizzy drinks and my love for healthy living. So I feel that, to be healthy, we should all have a good gut health, because the gut is our second brain. And all of us have different gut health, art fauna. So I believe that if we can add more probiotics to our diet or any drinks, whatever, it can increase the gut health.
You want to tell everyone a little bit more about Baba Mama?
Well, it's a parenting website. So it's called it's Baba Mama, BUBBAMAMA. So it started like a journal for myself, and then it became a digital website, a magazine, and then I started doing more stuff. Like I feel that, hey, I should be empowering mommies like me, give them tips, stuff, that they can take good care of themselves. And then lately we launched a Zoom show on a Baba Mama Facebook page. So it goes Facebook Live, like a Zoom show like this as well. So we bring tips from our clients of the products. Last week we had OSIM, and then last night we had Rio and Clifford Clinic. So we want to bring more products like, the accurate information and how to use, instead of us showing. So we ask our clients to come on board and show our readers and our viewers how to use them themselves.
Yeah.
I was watching your pajama party. That's what it's called, guys, right? And I'm telling you, they have so much prizes, right? Just the last show I went on, I went to check out, right? They were selling really good wine for 50%, right? And it's her fault. I actually end up buying more wine than I should. So, Kat, I had to wait until circuit breaker. I'll bring some over. Maybe you can pass me some of your plants, pass me some of your kombucha, pass me some. And of course, right, I saw Si Yu is asking about your tingkat too. Si Yu, it's mine, okay? Because I'm going over to exchange with her already. She loved your pastel tingkat and she wants to know where you bought it from. If you could, right, later when you get off the show itself, while you're still in the chat, can you just send a message to Si Yu and let her know where you buy the tingkat from, okay? And then the other thing is, yes, her show, they were winning like things like OSIM massages and stuff like that, right? Guys, you should not come for this show. Go for her show. Yeah, it's wonderful. So, like I say, Kat is somebody that really I learn a lot from every day. And she does sell the starter kit for kombucha. So if you guys are interested to get a starter kit or learn more about how to make this kombucha from her, right, feel free to reach out to her after 30 Nights Tonight. We will attach the link to where you can purchase the starter kit to make your own kombucha from her as well, in the comment section, also in Facebook chat. Okay, so Kat, I love to chat longer with you, but I have to move along now to scare you again. First, I want to steal all your things and I want to scare you now, right? So this part of the show, right, it's called Strip Him Bare. Are you ready to strip
Naked?
No. You want to, right?
Not me.
But this is an adult show, but this is during hours that the kids are awake. We do not want to have complaints, you know, because earlier I say if there's complaints, then we have to refund people. There's nothing to refund because this show is free, right? I don't know what else to pay them back. Okay, so in any case, did you bring along your sunscreen?
Yes, I did.
Because that is what I'm going, oh my goodness. Chanel, huh? Guys, if you were here last week with us, right, we actually touched on SK2. So SK2, I was a bit emotional during that show because it was a brand, right, that I truly believe in. The moment I, started making money enough to splurge on myself, right, SK2 was all I spent on, and I spent a lot of money on SK2. Then in my 30s, before I embarked on this clean beauty journey, clean lifestyle, basically, right, I was very infatuated with Chanel skincare and makeup, and I spent a lot of money on that. So when I asked Kat for her sunscreen, she had a few. And I told her, please pick the Chanel because I want to do this, not just for her, but for myself. And I hope for some of us out there who are spending a lot of money will now find out if indeed we have been spending our money the correct places, okay? So what we're gonna do here, Kat, are you ready? Oh no, is Kat still with us? Kat, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so Kat, I need you to tell us, why did you buy the Chanel sunscreen? Like, what is it about the product that made you buy it in the first place?
Well, firstly, it's a primer to prep the skin for putting on makeup. Also, it has sunscreen SPF, and also it's a bit of tinted, and then it's a bit pinkish, so it gives a bit of radiant glow as well. So
but you're already glowing. Why do you need that product to make you glow?
It's just like money. Nobody complain too much money,
Yeah, okay. And then is there anything else about the product that you like that made you buy it? Like the branding? Is it the branding? I'm curious. I trusted Chanel and I trusted SK2.
I mean, over the years, there's a lot of new products I use and I still didn't like it. But this one is actually, for my skin, I think it keeps my skin not matte. So I didn't need to touch up my skin as well. So with this, I think I only use loose powder or maybe sometimes foundation powder, and that's it. I didn't need to put a lot of powder, or I didn't need to touch up throughout the whole day.
I actually understand what you mean, because sometimes, right, the product works well, right, and we really don't want to know much except for the fact that it works very well for skin, right? So that's what happened to me before I embarked on my own education as well. Well, I will not keep this any longer, I shall now move on to the criteria, the category the criteria for assessing our ingredients today. For Fawn Labs, we have chosen to categorize them. If we find that they fall into one of these categories, we will highlight them to all of you and to Kat as well, okay? So they must not be a carcinogen, we will highlight it. Carcinogen means that it potentially can cause cancers. Toxin would be something that is toxic to your body, to your health, or to your skin. It may make you sick in other ways, but not cancer. Irritant will be something that irritates not just your skin, but we will look at things that can potentially irritate your eyes or potentially irritate your internal system as well. Okay. Allergen is different from irritant. I touch on this a lot during my workshops with my participants, right? Because a lot of people think that allergens and irritants is the same thing. You get an allergic reaction or irritated skin, right? It's not the same. Irritants can affect 100% of us. So allergens are different. They only affect up to 2% of the general population. So although it affects less of us, right, an allergen that affects a certain person stays with them for life, usually. Irritant is just something that if you wash your face or you put an ointment on it, right, it gets better. But allergy issues do not usually go away. Okay, so that's different. Pollutant is something that some clean beauty brands don't look at, but here at Fawn Labs, we are very, very particular about the products, the ingredients that we use in our products. If they are polluting the earth, we tend not to like them, so we will highlight them as well. Okay, are we ready? Let's move on now to the ingredient list found in Kat's Chanel sunscreen primer. Now it's a very long list. So you can see, I actually counted there's about 40 ingredients in there. You do not need 40 ingredients to make something, okay? Firstly, as a formulator, I'm telling you that. So of course, we're gonna find out if all these ingredients are actually necessary. Aqua is something everybody should know. That's water. Okay. The next one is methyl trimethicone. This is a silicone and we don't like it. I'm going to cluster it together with dimethicone because both of these are actually silicones. I highlight them because they are potential toxins. They're definitely irritant for people who cannot have their pores covered. So imagine you have something like a plastic covering your skin. That's what silicone does, okay? So why they have it in products? Because they want to give that shine. Remember just now, Kat was telling us a sheen to the skin, right? So this is what makes that sheen, but it's not because you have a natural glow on your face, okay? And the other thing I don't like about any silicones is the fact that they are pollutants and very bad ones too. They are completely non-biodegradable, okay? Kat, here. The next two ingredients, I'm going to cluster them together as well. Zinc oxide and titanium oxide. By right, these are the ones I like, right, as the UV protectors or the active ingredient for UV protection. But in this formulation, I'm very concerned because there is the word nano there. It's supposed to be non-nano. Non-nano means that the particles of these zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, which is actually minerals, right, are bigger than your pores, so they will not pass through into through your skin. But I'm just wondering, did somebody at Chanel, right, make a huge mistake? Instead of non-nano, they actually label as nano because nobody uses nano zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, to be honest. So I'm completely shocked at this, and I'm not too sure if I want to write into Chanel and ask about this. But meanwhile, I shall move on. Alcohol, they're using this as a preservative. I don't like alcohol in most products, in fact, all products, right? Because they are potential irritant, but they're not so bad as a carcinogen or a toxin. So they just cause some irritation to skin that is dry, okay? They use this as probably as a preservative. Moving along now, the other ingredient is isodecyl neopentanite. This is okay. This is actually an emollient. The next is butylloctyl salicylate. This is a solubilizer, it's a disperser. They usually use this ingredient with the one before that. The short name for the one before that is actually octinosate. So they use this very frequently as a UV protector, okay? This, on its own, butylloctyl salicylate is actually an okay ingredient. Boron nitride is actually an absorbent for oil. This is to replace talc. So they did very well here because we all know that talc has issues. There are potential carcinogens and toxins. So this is okay. It's supposed to keep your face fresh looking without oil. The next one is an emollient, the capryl carbonate. It's fine. Together with isodocane, it does the same thing. Glycerin is something we use very often in products, even at our lab. It's a humectant. It's completely fine. Acrylates are fine. They're film foaming, so they actually form an invisible film, but not like a silicone. Okay, they don't block your pores. Sodium chloride is salt. It's a thickener for this ingredient list. The next ingredient is actually licorice root extract. This is an active. It's a botanical extract. It's fine. So it's the hydrolyzed cochiolin protein. This is a natural extract as well. It's an active as well. Stearic acid, also a natural ingredient. We use it in our lab as well. This is an emollient, or some people use it as an emulsifier. Emulsifier means that they will mix the oil ingredient and the water ingredient together uniformly. Okay. Next, we have the, oh my goodness, this is what we touched on last week, right? Phenoxyethanol. This is one of the worst preservatives we can find because they are really toxic. Using too much of that is not good. But remember last we say we are not here to fearmonger. So if they are lower down in the list, right, it means that you use a smaller percentage of it. Now, just to recap from last week, in case there are people from this week that didn't attend last week, when you see an ingredient list like that, it just means that the highest percentage ingredient used is always the first one, and it follows down all the way to the least percentage used. That's how you read this ingredient list, okay? So this is somewhere in the middle of the list. So I'm not really comfortable about it because it's not that they use very little of it as well, okay? This is an irritant too. It can potentially irritate your skin and eyes. Next, we have aluminum hydroxide. It's a texture enhancer. This is okay. Butylene glycol is a humectant. It's completely fine. Okay, what do we have here? My most disliked artificial or synthetic in any formulations to do with skin. You do not need parfum or fragrance. This is not essential oil. This is definitely a synthetic. And I don't understand why Chanel, such a big brand, an expensive brand, wants to use, up till today, want to use things like artificial fragrances. So this is definitely not good. It will actually show up as a carcinogen, toxin, irritant, and allergen. Beat that. Okay, it probably pollutes my nose too because I don't like artificial fragrances. Okay, it's not a pollutant, but it, you know what I mean. Okay. The next is stereoconium hectorite. This is a dispersant. It is fine. Alumina is a texture enhancer. This is fine. And then comes this two very weird ingredient. Why do I call them weird? Okay, isopropylidendiphenols. I don't even know how to pronounce it, and it's not very familiar with me because this is just not used in skincare. And I was wondering why, because I did a lot of research. I went back to my textbooks and I was looking up, down, left, right for this ingredient. I couldn't find it together with the copolymer, right? Then I found out, and that is after I read a lot of industrial papers, and I'm not talking about research papers on skincare or beauty ingredients. I'm talking about industrial papers. Do you know where all these came up? These two ingredients came up in, industrial papers that people introduce ingredients to make plastic. This is done, this is used as an resin for epoxy making. Epoxy is plastic. So I seriously have no idea what they're doing here, except for the fact that they are potentially using this as a preservative. And that's why probably people who use Chanel think that it's a good product because we don't have to go for plastic surgery, but there's already plastic in the product. I don't know. I'm getting very confused here. Okay, so but I will move along and leave this as it is for now. Okay. But it's upsetting me. It's really upsetting me. Okay. The next is polyhydroxystearic acid. This is fine. This is emulsifier. Calm down. Don't be so angry. Sodium hyaluronic. This is like hyaluronic acid. We know that it's good for skin. We know that it's not harmful at all. This is lighter in molecular weight than hyaluronic acid, so it absorbs better. Propylene carbonate is fine as well. Tin oxide is for the brightening effect. So this is where probably Kat says that it gives us skin a shimmer. It's a tin oxide, but this is okay. It's actually a mineral. The sodium steroid glutamate is okay also. It's an emulsifier for hydration. Next is diethyl aminomethyl coumarin. Now this is an artificial fragrance as well. Why do you need 2 artificial fragrance in the product? I have no ideas, but it's definitely going to raise there as a rate for us, okay? BHT is an antioxidant. It's unfortunately, guys, this one comes up high on the carcinogen and the toxin levels. It's also a potential allergen, so I'm going to highlight it as well. Tocopherol is an antioxidant. It's what we call vitamin E, and it's fine. The last will be may contain ultramarines, iron oxides, titanium. These are all what we call minerals, and they're actually fine for your skin, okay? So Kat, let's show all the red in the screen, and then we will let Kat, I'm just gonna leave this as that for now, and I'm gonna move on to the next, what do you call that, sunscreen, and then we'll come back and see which of this sunscreen we prefer. But thank you very much. Where is Kat? So is Kat around? Yes. Kat, we're just gonna take this opportunity to say thank you to you for joining us, being a wonderful guest, as well as giving us a sunscreen to look into. So
Thanks.
we will, yes, and I will see you soon, okay?
That's right.
Everyone say bye to Kat.
Bye.
And bye. And now I'm gonna bring up the next sunscreen that we're gonna look at. And this is April Tolentino's sunscreen. April.
Oh my God.
She posted this on her face where she tagged us, and we found that this is very interesting, so we decided to pick it. And to all the Singaporeans who know this term kelong, right, we didn't kelong, okay? She's not part of the Fawn team, okay? So she's still qualifying for the beautiful diffuser that is offered as a prize from Flo. We're gonna attach Flo's link here. For those of you who are not participating in this, you still have one last chance to submit a moisturizer and tag us to stand a chance to win a diffuser from Flo. If not, you have to go to this link and buy your own diffuser, okay? It costs $168. So April, are you ready? We're gonna use the same criteria to look at April's sunscreen now.
I'm very scared now.
Same categories, and there's only 9 ingredients on this list, okay? Now this is gonna be very easy for me to run through, okay? So basically, number 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, I'm gonna highlight them all at once, red. So these are actually silicones. So they are the ingredients in this product, right? I believe this product, when you put it on, right, it should be easy to glide on. There should be a nice sheen of some sort. You should look like you have glowing skin without actually having this, just by putting a layer of this on. So
It's
that's a
very
silicone.
silky.
All these are silicones, okay? And that's why it's very silky. I suspected as well. Okay, so we don't like all of them, okay? The next ingredient is actually ethyl hexyl. This is the same, okay? Methoxynilamide is the same ingredient as last week, okay? This is the ingredient, right? This is an active ingredient for UV protection. We don't like it because it is high on the carcinogen level, toxin. It's an allergen, and it's also a pollutant. Okay. However, the only good news in this product is C12C15 alkyl benzoate. That is fine. It's an emollient, and there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. The last 2 ingredients, I'm going to highlight them together. The bisethyl hexyloxyphenol, methoxyphenyl triazine, and the last ingredient on this list, which is dithiol amino hydroxybenzoyl hexyl benzoate. These two are actually very new ingredients that people use for UV protection. There has been a lot of indication and research to show that they are not toxins, they're not carcinogens. So it's very exciting for the market, but the company that actually produces this ingredient is trying to get an approval from FDA to use them in as approved ingredients in US itself. So I'm looking forward to the day that they get approved. But truly the news flow coming out for trending ingredient in sunscreen, these are the ingredients that's very exciting because they are the chemical blocks and they are not toxins. So let's watch out for this, okay? You will see that there's no preservative in this because all the ingredients in here are actually oil soluble. There's no water ingredient in here as well. So I believe that probably they don't need a very strong preservative, but they will have to incorporate some sort of an antioxidant in there, okay? I'm gonna bring up both sunblock, okay? And in the end, right, this was very tough because both are equally upsetting for me on some levels. I decided to go for Spectraben, okay, because this is about $38 or $30 for 45 grams, if I'm not wrong. The Chanel is $115 for 30 grams. And what I really dislike about Chanel, right, is the fact that they're using legacy ingredient that nobody uses anymore. That's actually a toxin and carcinogen. Plus, the moment you use parfum or artificial fragrances, you're not going to pass my mark for sure, because those have already been, you know, so much research has pointed to the fact that they are not good for your health, not good for your skin. And you don't need them to make a product work. You don't need them to make a product even. So I don't understand why it's in there. And for that purpose, April sunscreen gets my vote, but still not good enough. So we're gonna move on to Dirty Cop. And we're going to talk about generally about ingredients found in sunscreen so that everyone can have a better idea of what to look out for. All these are mentioned in last week's Dirty Nights, okay? They are still coming up as ingredients in the products that we are looking at today. We still don't like them. I'm not going to repeat. If you want to know more about them, watch our recording from last week. I'm going to move on now specifically to the UV protector. The active ingredients in that are for UV protection. So generally in the industry, we have two types of UV protectors. They would be either chemical blocks or what we call chemical absorbers, or they are physical blocks, okay? Now the whole list of UVA and UVB chemical absorbers, right, they are all not ideal because most of them are high on the toxin level. But I'd rather you use sunblock than not use. The only thing is probably wear more protective clothing, or look for products that uses predominantly physical blockers like titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. And also look for them that is of non-nano sizes. There are some sunblock out there that only use physical blockers. Why people don't like them as much as chemical blockers is because they create a white film on your skin, but at least you know that they are better for your health and skin than the chemical absorbers, okay? So these are approved by FDA, but it's just that don't use them too much, especially if they belong to the chemical absorber part. Okay, so we have another 12 ingredients that's actually approved by the European regulators. And this is strange because usually the regulators from Europe is a lot more stringent than US. So I believe they have more approved chemical absorbers in their list. It's because they have done more stringent tests with all these ingredients, and they're more confident of putting them into the approved list, okay? So it's all about testing. It's all about the stringency of it. But we still don't like them as much as we like physical blockers. So the safest ingredients are actually non-nano titanium dioxide, non-nano zinc oxide, and the trending ingredients are the two found in April's sunblock. They are safe if it's not more than 10% used in the formulations itself. So these four are ingredients that we like to see in your sunscreen. Okay, two of them on the right are actually chemical blockers. All right, so I'm going to move on now. So we heard you, Lorenzo, okay, because we, following last week's segment, right, we thought that sunscreen would be very interesting for people to look at, but we had a lot of requests to continue to look at, you know, face wash. So we picked two more just to run through this week. And the first one will be Lorenzo's face wash. If you are here tonight, Lorenzo, can you identify yourself? Then you will stand a chance to win the lovely diffuser by from Flo. I'm gonna now look at the ingredient list in Lorenzo's Orange Blossom face wash from Young Living YL, okay? Now this is a very long list, but it's gonna be very simple for me to run through, okay? Water, we know. Decyl glucoside is a surfactant. Glycerin is a humectant. Aloe is an active botanical. Cocoa glucoside is a surfactant. Glycerol oleate is an emulsifier. So far, they're all fine. They're all good. Glycerol capryliate is a emulsifier. Citric acid is a pH modifier. Xanthan gum, thickener. Then we have a botanical extract, sunflower seed oil. I'm going to highlight all the botanical extracts from here, okay? So the whole entire list that you see in green, okay, they are all botanical extracts. They're all actives, and they are all suitable to use on the skin with no worries at all, okay? So I'm happy with all of this. The next, I'm gonna pick out the essential oils that's present in this formulation. Lavender oil, essential oil, patchouli essential oil, rosemary essential oil, and lemon essential oil. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if your product is scented by essential oil, it's fine, right? The only thing I see that it's a problem with this formulation is that essential oils usage in any skin products has to follow strictly to derma limits, because some of these essential oils have chemical components that may cause harm to the body or to your health. Some of them are even carcinogens. So too high a percentage used in any products, right, may not, too much of a good thing is not a good thing. You know that, right? So other than that, because I don't know the exact percentage they're using, but you can see that the essential oils are coming up very high up in the list. On a usual basis, we try not to use more than 1% on products that is you leave on the face, but this is a wash off product. So maybe that's why they're using a higher percentage. I don't know, okay? But that is the only concern I have about essential oils. Other than that, I love them, okay? We're gonna move on now to the next group. Oh no, so that's the entire formulation, right? And on the surface, they look fine until I started to ask myself, what is the preservative function in this entire formulation, right? So you will see that we highlighted water, glycerin, glycerol, capryliate, levulinic acid, and sodium levulinate, okay? Now this form a very robust preservative system if it had included an ingredient called sodium anisette. So I'm a little bit confused because this does not look complete, okay? So my only issue here is the how much percentage of essential oils they have in this formulation, and the incomplete preservative system they look like they have in here. But I could be wrong, that it could be replaced by something in there that I'm not aware of, but I just want to highlight that. Also, the other thing I want to highlight is therapeutic grade essential oil. There's no such thing called therapeutic grade, because all essential oils, they are either natural or non-natural. And in order to find out whether they are natural or not, you need to get the brand to supply you with what we call a COA, Certificate of Analysis. That will show you if they are actually pure or whether they are alterated, okay? But when they say therapeutic grade, it doesn't really mean much, okay? Unless you are very confident in the brand itself, which I'm very sure that Young Living has a branding behind them, and they have huge substantiation to show that they have very good quality essential oil. I would call it, if anything, I would say it's natural essential oil that's good quality. But if any essential oil say they are therapeutic grade, there's no such certification in the world that allows you to, that certifies that. So anyone can say that their essential oil is therapeutic grade, okay? So other than that, I really like the formulation, to be honest, okay? Just missing one item to make it a complete, well-preserved product. I'm now gonna move on to the next face wash. This is Paula's Choice, a brand that's that has quite a huge cult following. This is Gwen Wong's face wash. Are you here, Gwen? If you're here, can you identify yourself? So I'm going to jump right into analyzing the ingredient used in this face wash itself. Okay. The Young Living essential, the Young Living face wash, I believe it's $88 for a bottle. The Paula's Choice foaming cleanser is about $38 or something like that. It's actually about 1/3 the price of a Young Living face wash. So let's see how well they stack up here. Now, if I look at the entire list, right, and I'm not going to run through them because last week we ran through a lot of these ingredients, right? There's nothing here that I don't like. Everything is very good and natural, except for they are using, so let's highlight the preservatives that they're using, the sodium EDTA and phenoxyethanol. These are the two ingredients that's put together is a very, very good preservative in a system like, in a product like that, okay? What is okay is that, number one, this is a wash-off product. So you are, if this is you know, like a night cream or moisturizers or serum, I will be a lot more concerned if they have this kind of ingredients in there, okay? Number two, you can see that they're right at the bottom. So what you're really looking at here is that they're probably using a very, very small percentage of these in the product itself. So we don't want to fearmonger. As long as you don't use a lot of these ingredients in most of your products, right? They are still acceptable, okay? But bear in mind, right, I was looking at this two face wash. It's again the same thing. You're paying money for a lot of water in your products. Both of them have water right at the top. And I look at the texture of these products, right? You're likely paying that amount of money for about 70 to 85% water. Okay, so I'm a little bit disappointed because I would have expected some of them, especially the more expensive face wash, right, to incorporate some sort of like a hydrosol maybe, just to create extra benefits. But unfortunately they didn't do that. I have not seen a face wash that has used, you know, an expensive face wash that has used hydrosol rather than all water. Okay, but after all, it is a wash-off product. So these two face wash put together, it's really tough for me because it's the opposite of the sunscreen. I like both very much, as you can tell, right? So I'm gonna go for Paula's Choice only because, number one, this is a wash-off product. If this was a leave-on product like a moisturizer, right, I would likely say, guys, spend a bit more money because I don't like the one or two of the ingredients in Paula's Choice, okay? The other reason is because it's of the price point. I'm a little bit disappointed that they're still using a lot of water in the Orange Blossom face wash. But hey, you know, if it works for your skin and you can afford it, why not, right? It's just that, like I said, it's a little bit weird that they left out one ingredient for the preservative. So there you go. We heard you and you wanted more face wash. So we have picked two more for your learning this week. And right now, I'm just going to hand it over to April for Grill Me. It's time for you guys to make things difficult for me or not and ask me questions.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Han. That was again mind-blowing.
Are you and Kat still my friends? Are you? Do y'all forgive me? I'm not gonna have many girlfriends left after this.
No, but it's really good. Now we know, at least we have a rough idea of what we have in the products that we use, because of course we use it on a daily basis, right? So this is very, very helpful. I can't wait for all this lockdown to be over so I can go straight to your lab and I can get your products. So right
she's still
now,
my friend. She's still
of course I am. So right now, what I'm gonna do before we invite everyone to turn on their videos for the question and answer so that it will be more interactive, I have added Fawn Labs contact, like socials, Facebook, Instagram, website, and email, so that you can reach out to them directly after this. And right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make sure that everyone has their videos, so that we have quite a number of questions here. So we will throw a lot of questions. But by the way, there's a lot of interest in the Think Cat. So
yes, you know, I was joking that mine is a Think Han and hers is a Think Cat.
yes. Okay, so I can see everyone coming in. Hello, guys. Yeah, just feel free turn on your video so that we can have a more interactive discussion. This is now your chance to get your products and then ask Han about the products that you use while you're here.
I see Lorenzo here tonight. Last week he also asked us for the Orange Blossom face wash quite late in the show. So then he actually contacted us separately. So we felt the enthusiasm, Lorenzo. So we did the face wash just for you.
Exactly. Okay, so we have one question from Elizabeth here. Oh, actually, okay, let's go to the Q&A first. So we have an anonymous attendee who asked a question. For the fruit enzyme, does it matter if we use plastic or glass? So I think this one is for Kat and Han. I'm going to unmute you, Han.
Yeah. I would actually prefer to use glass. Yes. So if you look at Kat's starter kit, right, for her kombucha, with the starter kit, it comes with a large glass container. She has very kindly offered to me because I told her I'm making fruit enzymes. So she told me to collect the glass container from her. But for those of you who want to start making your own kombucha, right, when you're not making the kombucha, right, you can use that glass container to make your fruit enzymes. But personally, I would prefer to use glass. Okay, yes. Because plastic leaches things, and if you can leave it in there for like months and months and months, it's better to use glass. I'm only using this because it's the only one that I have that's empty and the right size now. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Shall we have another question?
Okay, so we have one from Elizabeth. Okay, let me see if Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth, I'm going to unmute you. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi, Liz. Oh,
hi.
Elizabeth, yes. Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the show. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. You want to submit something so that you don't want to be my friend after that?
No.
Yes, what question do you have for me?
So I've been watching you since the last week, and I see that your face has got very nice natural glow. So I just want to find out, is it because of your formulation and that you are hydrating your face very well, or is it just makeup?
It's a combination of a lot of stuff. Okay, I understand what you're asking. Okay, now I definitely have what we call primer on. Okay, so I'm using, remember just earlier in the show, I told you guys that there's a product that our participants come and make, and then they either use it as a moisturizer or they use it under their makeup. So that's the primer that goes on my skin before I put on anything else. And I usually just put sunblock, but because, and I actually have sunblock on tonight because there's a very bright light here, and I'm very particular about UVA, UVB and stuff like that, right? So my sunblock on its own, I believe when I use it on its own, it doesn't have this effect. So it is partly to do with that primer. But I also feel that it's also got to do with the fact that I double cleanse and I do oil cleansing. So the skin itself, right, is very prime in terms of hydration. Bear in mind, right, I have not mentioned to any of you at all, even last week and this week, right, my skin is actually very, very dehydrated before I started on this journey. I find that, and I also have acne quite a bit if I don't sleep well, don't eat well, and also when I don't do my oil cleansing. So all these are factors as to why you will see, I won't call it, maybe it's not a glow, but it's definitely a sheen. I find that even when I don't use makeup, right, when I take photos, sometimes I look like I have very oily skin, but when I touch my face, it's dry. So that's the question you're asking. It's likely the hydration and the double cleanse that I do. I double cleanse at least once a day, either in the morning or at night. And I have maybe 7 oil cleansers at home, different types of oil cleansers.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So would you say that if we come to you and then you formulate some of the products for us,
okay.
Right?
So Fawn Labs, right, we don't actually offer end products in most of our offerings. What we do is we have a workshop that participants come and then they learn about clean beauty and then safety of formulating. We teach about essential oil usage as well, because that's one of the essential oil and preservative usage in products, okay? And then the participants will, so you go through a theory and then you go through a practicum, right? That you will make 2 products. Everybody makes the same product with different ingredients. So I will call, each one will get a consultation period with me before the actual workshop. And then we will come to the workshop and you will make your own customized products, 2 of that. So after that, you go home, you bring all the equipment back. And if you are able to continue this journey, we're very happy for you to continue that on your own. But a lot of people have actually approached us and told us that they want to use the library of ingredients found in our lab. There's like 300 over ingredients and we're still adding on every month or so. Right? So we started this thing called Open Labs. You only come when you need to make the amount that you want. Most of our products are also dual purpose. And when you come, I am going to bespoke the formulation for whatever products you want to make. After you have come for clean beauty workshop, you can make actually almost all products that we offer in the workshop, in the Open Labs itself. And you will be, we will have myself, and if it's a big enough group, right, sometimes we have our VC with us as well. So she'll assist me in my Open Lab sessions. So it's very personalized. We keep all these sessions very small. Okay?
Oh, okay, that's great. Thank you.
I hope to see you, Elizabeth.
I hope so after the CV. I don't know when you guys can open.
Yeah, not yet. So we are getting some clearance from the authorities and we will keep everyone updated via our Facebook. Also, you should be on our mailing list now and you will receive all this information as well time to time. Okay?
All right, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, Elizabeth. So, okay, just to add, so earlier you were asking some questions, Han,
Yes.
from our attendees. So I just collated everything that came to their mind. So just to add it before we close, right? So you asked them, name a brand that comes to your mind when it comes to clean beauty products.
Yes.
So there's one comment, Sukin.
Sukin.
Okay, from CU. It's Frank Skincare Young Living. Teresa says Young Living as well. Chris says Tata Harper. And Lionel Goop.
My favorite in the whole list is likely Tata Harper. So Chris knows what he's talking about there. And
Amazing.
It's a Chris, right? No, Christine or Christopher?
Chris Lim, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Amazing.
okay. So Tata Harper is my favorite. They are one of the more revolutionary clean beauty brands out there. They really have the branding down right. Very good branding, okay? And when I say very good branding, it means they practice it well. The rest of the brands are actually very, very good brands, very decent brands. We saw Young Living tonight. You see, the only issue, so they are all natural ingredients. Yeah, there were no synthetics at all. The only thing is I am just a bit concerned about people with sensitive skin. Remember, we talked about allergens and stuff like that, and you shouldn't have more than 1% essential oil in any products on the face, okay? But other than that, I think it's great. The formulation is great. And there's also Sukin, which is a natural brand. I have not really looked at the formulation, but I understand it to be organic even, if I'm not wrong. And Si Yu, last week we talked about your Frank Skin and you were not around. We love it. We love that brand. It's a local brand, support local. I actually gave them the thumbs up sign last week. I say, look, this is a simple formulation and it works so well as an oil cleanser. Why are women not using more of that? It's a very good brand. It's a very good product. I said I was going to buy it.
That's amazing. So Han is endorsing skincare, so it's a good buy. So lastly, you ask them what is the label or word that you look for in your products before you buy them. So CU says sensitive skin and organic. So as Linda says, organic as well. Elizabeth says brightening and anti-aging. And Lorenzo said pH 6.5. Felicia says alafia. And words like natural and biodegradable.
See, I covered a lot of these earlier. So if you guys want to hear the explanation to all these labeling, right, you can rewatch this recording again. But they're all things that we are all either guilty or very clever with. So you have to learn which are the right labels to look for and what to look out for if you see that label as well. Okay?
Oh, okay, perfect. And I think, so that's about it, though. You have answered all the questions. I don't think
Oh,
we
great.
have
Yeah.
any other questions right now. So I believe that
Yes,
right
I'm
now,
gonna bring on my partner, Eldred, to tell us a little about a giveaway that we're having here. This is a very, very big giveaway, okay? So Eldred, would you like to explain to everyone here?
Hi everyone. So I'm here to raise awareness for a charity that we are supporting. It's called Ready to Eat Meals, and it's organized by an organization called Free Food for All. You can find that campaign online for this cause on giving.sg. And we've provided a link in the slides that I'll show in a few seconds where you can find them. Or you can email us for more information. So what this campaign is about is that since the start of the circuit breaker and the COVID situation in general, there have been a group of people struggling to satisfy even the most basic of their needs, which is to simply fill their stomachs. Ready-to-eat meals helps to feed those who are unable to feed themselves or don't have access to a freezer. These groups of people include the elderly, low-income groups, people under long-term care, and those who are alone and have no support from families. So as you can tell, they're pretty poor thing, must help. So, and another thing, they also provide hot meals to the homeless, which is a very cool thing. They bring little portable stoves for the homeless. So as you can tell, please don't send us any money. We are only just here to spread the word, gain awareness for this charity movement. All donations should go directly to Free Food for All on giving.sg. So please show our fellow Singaporeans in need some much needed love in this period of time. Thanks, guys. I'm going to hand you guys back to Han.
So basically, like what Eldred says, right? Well, don't send money to us, but you're welcome to send money to me. Okay, I'm joking over there. Okay, please send money donations directly to them. And here at Fawn Labs, right, we've always been very big on giving back to the community. So here I'm appealing to all of you, right, to just donate whatever is comfortable. We put up this show for empowering you and to educate and to entertain you. So all you need to do is to probably contribute a little back to people who actually need help. For that, right, we are giving a huge giveaway. We are sponsoring this giveaway for anyone who make a donation. Just send us the proof of your donation, right? Please ensure you cover up your millions of dollars in your account numbers, all these. Just cover that up. Your IC numbers, I don't need to know. Just indicate that I attended 30 nights and this is the donation I made. It can be anything as little as a couple of dollars. It can be $3 million if you are really, really keen to put up that amount, okay? Anything, any donations, just email the proof to us, okay? And then you will go into a draw, one winner to walk away with our best offer from Fawn Labs. You get to come, and this is transferable. So if you are a male and you want to contribute to this a donation, right? You can give this to your girlfriend, wife, or your mom. Okay, so basically you will win a session with us at Fawn Labs. You will come and I will spend one-on-one time with you, and you get to pick whatever ingredients and 3 products that you want me to customize for you. So usually we don't sell end products, we only have workshops, but this is a very special price. We will then let you go home and wait for us to formulate 3 sample sizes, send it to you. And then once you use it, if it's suitable, we'll make full sizes and send that to you as well, courier to you. Okay, if you don't like something in the product that we first sent to you, we offer one-time free reformulation, and we'll reformulate that product for you and then send it to you, the full size of it to you as well. Okay, so this is something we are really doing that's very special because we want to raise awareness for that. Tomorrow, we are actually going to have a major announcement. It's very exciting, especially if you're a mother or a father. It's something very special for children. So if I were you, stay tuned because there's going to be a very, very major announcement tomorrow on all our social media, Fawn Labs on Instagram, Fawn Labs on Facebook, and we have a community page on Facebook called For the Love of Clean Beauty. So for those of you who want to follow us with this 30 nights journey, next week there's one last session. I hope to see you there. And I shall hand it back to April now. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the love and the support. And we truly, truly appreciate you coming for 2 weeks in a row. Hope to see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a very generous giveaway, Han and team. Thank you. So we would like to just close this properly, and we want to invite you to answer the post survey after we end the Zoom webinar. We will really, really appreciate if you can help us fill out the 2-minute survey. And again, thank you so much for everyone who registered and watch over the Zoom link and our Facebook page. We truly appreciate your support and have a good evening, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.